What's going on? What's going on? It's your man Mal C219 TV Midwest Connected, man. Cheats for life. And let's not forget, baby, GoFundMe is not life insurance. And if you in these streets, man, please put some money on your head or put some money on their bed before they before they do. Cause Tyler Perry, let's talk about it. Your man Tyler Perry. What y'all think? We got law and crime on here. You know, we go to the source over here, 219 TV. You know, we like to educate as well as entertain. And this is really just about knowing people and knowing the people that's in your circle, knowing who you bring around your circle, knowing who to be yourself around. And obviously, seems like to me, Tyler was himself around. But you know what? Let's get right into it. We got a breakdown of it, law and crime. You know what I'm saying? I like to go, shout to them, law and crime. They on the case, Chris Stewart. We're going to let them break it down for y'all. So this ain't just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? But let me know what y'all think. And let me know it's just going to backfire on your man, Tyler. Hold up one second. You know what I'm saying?
So to start off, Dixon is suing Tyler Perry, the individual, as well as his production studio. That studio is called TPS Production Services, LLC. That stands for Tyler Perry Studios in Action, LLC. And he is looking for $260 million. Dixon, who portrayed a lead role in Perry's show called The Oval, is claiming 10 causes of action for the civil suit. Quid pro quo.
Drop some in the comments if he looked at me. Now I remember the show, The Oval, about the White House show. So I saw dude on there.
Sexual harassment, work environment sexual harassment, workplace gender violence, violation of the Bain Act, a California law that protects against violation of someone's civil rights through force or coercion, sexual battery, sexual assault, negligent retention, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and retaliation. Let's get into this lawsuit. The complaint starts off by saying, quote, "This case arises from a sustained pattern of workplace sexual harassment, assault, and retaliation perpetrated by Tyler Perry, a powerful media mogul, against plaintiff Derek Dixon."
In other news, Minnesota residents are going to be happy to hear this. It just came out. There's a new website where any Minnesota
a professional actor and screenwriter. Mr. Perry is an American actor, filmmaker, and playwright who has built one of the most successful careers in the film and television industry. Mr. Perry took his success and power and used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a coercive, sexually exploitive dynamic with Mr. Dixon, initially promising him career advancement and creative opportunities, such as producing his pilot and casting him in his show, only to subject him to escalating sexual harassment, assault, and battery, and professional retaliation when Mr. Dixon did not reciprocate Mr. Perry's unwanted advances. These events occurred while Mr. Dixon was employed as a series regular on the Tyler Perry show, The Oval, and while Mr. Perry held direct control over his employment, compensation, and creative opportunities. This lawsuit even compares Perry to some other infamous celebrities who have been called out for their behavior in the past. Quote, "Just like Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Kevin Spacey, Roger Ailes, and many others in the industry, Mr. Perry's success has led him to believe that money and influence can get him whatever he wants."
And that's it right there. See. Now, and this, my man is reading straight from court documents. This is so once the lawsuit's been filed and they got it broke down. So this is the actual stuff that's in the suit. You see when it's numbered like that. But what do they all have in common? Bill Cosby, Puffy, Spacey, Roger Ailes, they was in the industry, and Tyler Perry. Perry, Diddy, and Bill Cosby, y'all know all three of them was in the works. Tyler got his own studio, so he a big thing in Hollywood. Bill Cosby tried to buy CBS. That's when it went left for him. Puff was talking about starting a bigger media company. So those are three people. So do you mean you got the big was that? So those big media companies influenced one of the biggest cash cows, which is Black Media Entertainment, blase, blase, blah. So, and they the only three. They already got Oprah in check. So it's deeper than rap, man. But we're going to let them cook.
That belief slowly transformed into the false idea that Mr. Perry can get whomever he wants. According to the lawsuit, Dixon was working as part of an event staff at a party that Perry was hosting in Atlanta when Perry noticed him and offered him the chance to audition for a part in one of his hit TV shows. Before we get back to this bombshell lawsuit involving Tyler Perry, I want to bring you a law and crime legal alert. If you received a Depo-Provera birth control shot and were later diagnosed eligible for a lawsuit, our partners at Morgan & Morgan, the link in the description of this video, or go to show called Ruthless. Then he returned to his event staff job, through which he was hired to work at Perry's parties in places like Los Angeles and Jackson Hole, Wyoming. As Dixon spent more time with Perry, he says that Perry would flirt with him through text messages and his advances became more aggressive. Dixon claims that he was invited to Perry's Georgia home where he and Perry drank together. When Perry told him he was too drunk to drive and offered him his guest bedroom, Dixon says he accepted. But then he claims that while he was asleep, Perry climbed into bed with him and tried to initiate sex. Dixon says,
now he said he climbed in the bed and he felt the rub in his thigh. Now any real man know that is a red flag. How red of a flag can we get? That's a bloody red flag. That's a gangster waving. That's a red flag right there. Now, if you proceed to go, and now mind you, when my man said this up, he said he was in fear. He didn't want to rock the boat because he wanted to, you know, further his career, hoping it didn't derail his career. So now you feel like the person got you in it. But that's what this is all about. You know, people imposing their will on you because they know you need them. So proceed and what y'all thinking.
He tried to distance himself from Perry, but he was offered a role on Perry's show, The Oval. The lawsuit then reads, Dixon did his best to tiptoe around Tyler Perry's sexual aggression while keeping on Mr. Perry's good side. Mr. Perry made it clear to Dixon that if Dixon ignored Perry or failed to engage with the sexual innuendos, Dixon's character would die in the next season. Indeed, Dixon's character Dale was shot 4 times in the chest at the end of his first season on The Oval, and Perry always held this over Dixon's head, implying that Dale would survive if Dixon kept Perry, quote, happy. According to the complaint, Perry had made it clear to Dixon that he would kill characters in order to get an actor to be loyal or obedient.
Very critical in the case right there, because see, if you use it, that's the person using their influence or showing you how I could make you or break you. And a lot of people fall victim to that. And that's really the bigger picture here is people want to sell their soul for the gold, man. You know, you want to sell your soul for the gold, and now it's not. That's where these cases get kind of sketchy right there, because you know, if you going out for acting role, I'm going out for acting role. You willing to go a little further than I am to get the role. That's not really on Tyler, though. You feel what I'm saying? That's not on the producer because you willing to let them advance. But now, what Tyler's fault is not recognizing game. And that's what they mean by they get so drunk with power, where they not even seeing when they being set up. And then Tyler chose the wrong person. For whatever reason, he thought my man was with it, and he chose the wrong person to expose himself to be. But now everybody then already, it's speculations, allegedly. Now all this is alleged. It's speculations that Tyler had been walking that line. Drop something in the comments if you thought, you know. So that's been said, but he ain't never said it. So this is where you're going to have to do one or two things, Tyler. You either going to have to confess that you are who you are, which he still won't lose because, you know, LGB going to get behind him. That's who support a lot of it anyway. The church, that's what he going to feed. So let's hold on. I'm going to let it cook, though. My bad. I'm going to let them cook. Let me let them cook. Go ahead.
During the pandemic, Dixon says Perry convinced him to stay in one of the houses that was part of Tyler Perry's studios, quote, in or around April of 2020. And while Dixon was living in the studio homes on set, Perry often coerced Dixon to drink alcohol and then get on the phone with Perry. Perry would frequently have someone drop off alcohol at Dixon's door. Perry would eventually turn these phone calls into sexually explicit rants. Perry would get frustrated with Dixon and tell Dixon that he was not giving Perry, quote, what he needs. Dixon's refusal to succumb to Perry's sexual advances caused Perry to be ever more frustrated. Eventually, Perry warned Dixon that if Dixon told his castmates about the harassment, Dixon would be opening himself up to lots of, quote, questions and foolishness, and demanded that Dixon not discuss any of their conversations with his castmates. Dixon's lawsuit also listed out some of the sexual commentary by Perry that Dixon claimed he experienced while filming The Oval in 2020. This is what he says that Perry told him. Dixon said that Perry told him, quote, that he liked being choked. That was after Dixon's character was choked by a cast member in a scene.
And real quick, this has been going on since 2020. See, once you violate certain people, and a lot of these, and shout to any victim that's been victimized or anything, we ain't with that. All pervs should die, period. That's just how I feel about it, So, but a lot of people's been whatever traumatized. If he obviously must have went through this before, because he know the signs. But I ain't gonna get into that. But if my man experienced anything like this, he kind of know it. But at the same time, there's only way you can fight Big Bank, take Lil Bank. The only way Lil Bank can fight Big Bank is try to get as much on you as I can. So if this don't go like you said, you gonna pay for it, for everything you disrespectfully done. That's basically it. I mean, what?
On The Oval, Perry also allegedly said, why do you twist your hips when you walk? How can I get a day of Dixon? When will you be thick again? I love how I feel right now, but I don't like being horny. I feel sorry for the first person who flirts.
Hey, now these is the text messages, man. He said, why you twist your hips when you walk? How can I get a day of Dixon? When will you be thick again? Hold up.
Perry told him. Dixon said that Perry told him, quote, that he liked being choked. That was after Dixon's character was choked by a cast member in a scene on The Oval. Perry also allegedly said, why do you twist your hips when you walk? How can I get a day of Dixon? When will you be thick again? I love how I feel right now, but I don't like being horny. I feel sorry. His character was choked by a cast member in a scene on The Oval. Perry also allegedly said, why do you twist your hips when you walk? How can I get a day of Dixon? When will you be thick again? When you walk, how can I get a day of Dixon? When will you be thick again? I love how I feel.
Yo. Nah, hey, Tyler, you handle this how you handle it. But only way he finna get out of this, man, if these text messages ain't him. Cause now, is it illegal to ask somebody when they gonna get thick again? But if one man asks another man when you gonna get thick again, hey, I don't know how my man took that, but whenever was he thick? Tyler's like a thick one. But now, if these is actually him, he might not be guilty, but he will have some explaining to do. You know what I'm saying? So, hey man, he will hold on, man. He will have some explaining to do, bro.
Right now, but I don't like being horny. I feel sorry for the first person who flirts with me, and I've been trying to put that energy somewhere else, but everything is sexual on this stuff. The lawsuit also contained numerous text messages from Perry to Dixon, some of which seem to have been sent when Perry was intoxicated, and if Dixon didn't respond according to the complaint, Perry would hound him. Dixon also claims the harassment turned physical. Quote, on multiple occasions, Mr. Perry sexually assaulted Mr. Dixon, including one instance where he forcibly pulled off Mr. Dixon's clothing, groped his buttocks.
Do you have a car? And do you have a clean driving record? Did you know you could pay as
and attempted to force himself on Dixon. Mr. Dixon told a drunken Perry no and attempted to remove Mr. Perry's hands, but Mr. Perry held tightly onto Dixon's wrists. Mr. Dixon was only able to escape after de-escalating the situation by abruptly changing the subject. The day after the assault, Mr. Perry called and texted Mr. Dixon relentlessly saying, "Tried you, call me, and I really need to talk to you. Please call me as soon as you can." And finally,
at this point now, drunken night, he might have ran. Now let's not forget now, Tyler about 6-something, 2-something, so he ain't no little dude, So in that moment, now, like they said with Puff, he would only act a certain way when he get full of that oil, or full of that coke, or full of that butter, whatever. So everybody know the influence alcohol have on a situation, man. And if you really want something and you a little tipsy, you really gonna go for it, especially if you feel like I made you. You know what I'm saying? So once again, not saying Tyler guilty, but it's two sides to every story. And a lot of people, I saw a lot of outlets where they was more so saying that well, Tyler's not that type of person, his character. What perv gonna come out and say I'm a perv? Yeah, you might know somebody. I'm sure every killer got a good side. They got a family, they got somebody they love, they got people that they treat right, and they got people that they treat wrong. That's the psycho part of it all. You feel what I'm saying? Tyler ain't finna wave that flag, but he gonna do what he do because he ain't stupid. He ain't gonna mess up his brand because it's a lot of money at stake. But when that alcohol get involved, man, free wine and spirits, and them other spirits come out after you drink that wine. Hey, man, you got situations like these, 260 million, you got to explain yourself.
when Mr. Dixon answered Tyler Perry's call, Mr. Perry profusely apologized for the sexual assault while blaming it on other things. Perry continued, quote, "He didn't know why he would do that. Maybe he was self-sabotaging." On the very same call where he apologized for the sexual assault against Dixon, Perry told Dixon, quote, "And don't worry, we're going to do your show," referring to the pilot that Perry knew Mr. Dixon had desperately wanted to produce. Shortly thereafter, Mr. Dixon
and that's where it went wrong. Now he pressed from this, as you read, he pressed the man. After he pressed the man and it didn't go right, now it's like, yo, I got you. Now this is where the plot thickens right here. This is where Tyler played himself, I think.
Got a call from Perry's lawyer saying that Christmas had come early and that Dixon was getting a substantial raise and the show was greenlit. Perry's attorney explicitly warned Dixon not to tell any other actor on the show about Dixon's raise because no other actors were getting a raise, only Dixon. Later in the lawsuit, Dixon's lawyers write, in or around April 2022, before beginning to shoot the next season of The Oval, Perry called Dixon to discuss the June 2021 sexual assault. On the phone call, Perry lectured Dixon about how Dixon was overreacting to the sexual assault because of prior sexual assaults in Dixon's life. Perry said that there was a misunderstanding and miscommunication and that Dixon needed to say no.
So if you knew about prior assaults in his life, then that means y'all had deep conversations at some point. So maybe Tyler took that as he was an easy target. He damaged goods. So when they think you damage goods, they figure your character can easily be assassinated in these type of situations. So, I mean, hey, man.
No stronger. In other words, Perry blamed Dixon for the sexual assault, claiming that Perry felt that Dixon's no was really a yes because Dixon did not say no strongly enough. Dixon.
Now, let's wait. Look at that one more time. Hold on, one more time. Let's look at that one more time.
And that Dixon needed to say no stronger. In other words, Perry blamed Dixon for the sexual assault, claiming that Perry felt that Dixon's no was really a yes.
His no was really a yes because he didn't say no strongly enough. Now, ladies and gentlemen, watch the trial and watch how it go down and mark my words. If that line right there might be a dagger to where he might have to at least come off 10 million. Because no means no. across the world. No, we tell our kid, we tell it no means no. But to Tyler, no meant yes. Because he didn't say it hard enough. Because Tyler sticks something to something. So you got to really say no. So, man, hey, man, it's wow. Was he intimidated?
Yes, because Dixon did not say no strongly enough. Dixon says he finally, quote, woke up to the fact that Perry was allegedly stringing him along about working with him on his own show to keep him around to be sexually harassed. In 2024, Dixon reported Perry's alleged conduct to the EEOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. According to the lawsuit, after reporting the sexual harassment, defendants, which is Perry and his studio, did not make any investigation into the complaint and did not take any steps to prevent further harassment from occurring.
So my man, that timeline, 2024, this 2025. So last year he dropped the bomb on him, complained about the harassment. So that's at that point, the studio said, we ain't see nothing. That's also at that point, they could have went on and be like, here, man, here go some money going about your business. So obviously, Tyler, like, I ain't going because he was setting them up. Yeah, we're going to, Tyler went hood on him. Oh, I got you, man. Let's, I got. Once he got him in the right position, man, get up out of here. So dude getting his lick back, man. That's basically what it is, but both of y'all is at fault to me because dude let it go too far. You know what I'm saying? And Tyler just tried the wrong one, obviously, you know what I mean? So what y'all think about that? Drop something in the comments, man.
Because defendants took no action to prevent further assault or harassment, Dixon had to quit his job.
Guess which student has a better chance of getting into an Ivy League school? First, take a look at Zach. He's valedictorian, National Merit Scholar, and he's president of the debate team. He's got a 4.4 weighted GPA and a near perfect score.
Working on the last season of The Oval. Dixon did so even though he was under contract to finish filming and stood to make close to $400,000. Dixon did not want to be sexually harassed or be placed in danger of a sexual assault again. Defendant then retaliated against Dixon. Defendant told Dixon if he quits and told the other actors why he quit, he would be in breach of his contract. Defendants told Dixon that the
That's a cold one. So now the games begin. So he didn't let them know once he saw they weren't going to do nothing. They must have been back and forth behind the scene, I'm assuming, because now he tells him, this is number 193 in the article. Defendant told Dixon, which is Tyler, if he quit or told the other actors why he quit, he going to hear and breach a contract. So now I got you in a legal bind, and we don't settle this a certain way. If you handle it your way, you in breach of contract, so I ain't got to give you nothing. That 400,000 you thought you was gonna get, so that ain't nothing, but that ain't nowhere near 260 million. But he told him, yo, it's gonna defray you. You got to figure out something else, or so this what started it. So Tyler knew this was coming. That's why he was talking like he was talking at the BET Awards. I made so many millionaires. That was his call to he need people to stand behind him. And we so crazy, man. Everybody want to be close to Tyler, want to get a chance because they know ain't nobody else getting them chances to Tyler giving to be seen and be on the screen. That's why 50 and everybody backing them up, because they know if Tyler gets slammed, it's going to be a long time before they let anybody else get in that door.
The only way out was to portray his departure from the show as a medical leave due to the emotional distress caused by the sexual harassment. Instead, defendant made the leave of absence unpaid and therefore terminated plaintiff's employment, causing Dixon additional loss of income and
that's, ladies and gentlemen, why we are where we are today. You played the man and made his taking off because he didn't want to come back to the stage with straight. You're fired.
insult. But Tyler Perry is fighting back. In a statement, an attorney for Perry reportedly said the allegations are a, quote, scam. The attorney went on to say, we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. The attorney, who according to TMZ is identified as Matthew Boyd, said in full, this is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. But Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. Joining us now is former federal prosecutor and president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, Nima Rahmani. Thank you for taking the time, as always, to be with us here on Law and Crime. I know we're still gathering information about exactly what Derek Dixon is accusing Tyler Perry of, but from what we know right now, how strong of a case does it seem that he has?
Chris, thanks for having me. Really breaking news today. Bombshell lawsuit against Tyler Perry, and information is coming in, but it does seem to be a strong case, at least in terms of the text messages. Sometimes in these sexual harassment cases,
Texas.
really the harassing behavior happens behind closed doors, and it's a he said, or he said, she said, or she said type situation. But text messages are fantastic, whether you're a prosecutor or a civil plaintiff's lawyer like I am. And looks like Dixon may have the receipts in this case.
Yeah, he's looking for $260 million. Even though Tyler Perry is a billionaire, that's still in terms of net worth, just from what I've been reading online. $260 million is a lot of money. What does that tell you? And when someone sues someone, like in this instance, it's not a criminal case, and you're looking for a specific amount of money, what goes into determining what that is?
Yeah, lawyers can say all sorts of things. Really, ultimately, what matters is what they ask the jury for. So they can ask for less or more during closing arguments. So I usually put that aside.
Meet the all-new Movavi video editor. Edit quickly and easily.
It gets a lot of good headlines, but I can't imagine this case being worth 9 figures. Sexual harassment is wrong. No one should be subject to it. And sometimes you get these nuclear verdicts or runaway juries, but I can't imagine a case like this going for that amount, even though, like I said, I don't condone any of this behavior.
So there it is, man. There it is, man. Let me know what you think. Drop something in the comments, man. Let's not forget, GoFundMe is not life insurance, man. And once again, if you in the streets and you playing these games, please put some money on your head for somebody else to. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Chiefs for Life over here, we like to educate and entertain. And what we see on this one, this is just a case of Tyler got too comfortable, man. You got to know he's a creator. But like my grandmother tell me, baby, you got to know your audience, Tyler. You got to know your audience. And he wasn't there for that movie. You know, he was there for another type of movie. Tyler was trying to make another type of movie. And my man wasn't with it. And it didn't go the way it's planned. And it seems like to me, unless that wasn't Tyler, Tyler gonna have to explain them Twitter fingers, man. He gonna have to explain that. You got to explain them texts, bro. So if I ever tell a brother why he ain't thick again, you best believe some questions gonna better be answered. And you got to explain yourself. It's your man Bow C219 TV, man. Let me know what you think, man. Drop something in the comments, man. Y'all think Tyler guilty? Y'all think this a money grab? Or do you think the industry's coming for him? You know what I'm saying? Because any of us that's there, they slowly knocking them down like dominoes, man. So this media is a little more important than y'all think it is. Because this is a way to get to us, by us. So once again, another king might take a fall, but he might pay for this. So let me know what you think, man. Drop something in the comments, man. Let me know what you think. It's your man, Mousy 219 TV, Midwest Connected, man. And GoFundMe is not life insurance. Please believe that.